Bam, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Munson Steed, and welcome to A Seat at the Table, Rolling Out News. And I'm joined by the phenomenal, the spectacular, the entrepreneur, the culture creator for those experiences that some don't have or didn't have the courage until this young lady thought that Juneteenth wasn't a moment for us to do anything but empower ourselves, celebrate ourselves, our ingenuity, our commerce, as leaders of industry, entrepreneurs who needed a marketplace. A marketplace and a business exchange is what this conversation of Seat at the Table is about. I'm talking about the incredible Cynthia Daniels. How are you, Cynthia?
I'm wonderful. How are you this evening?
Well, it's a fantastic day for me. Uh, anytime I'm at the seat of a table with a power player, um, it's all I sit down with, power players, culture innovators who are champions of my community or forging ways for those who don't have a seat. Um,
Right.
I love what you do. So great to meet you. Why don't you tell us something about you and what gives you mission and purpose as it relates to others having a seat and coming together as a community? Black business is what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. So I am an Atlanta native and moving to a new city, Memphis, Tennessee. For me, it was important to see the same culture in Memphis that I saw in Atlanta. Atlanta is a population that's full of entrepreneurs. We support and uplift each other. But in Memphis, I didn't see that. And that helped me to become an entrepreneur to create the change that I wanted to see. So I wanted to see entrepreneurs uplifted. I wanted us to have equity in terms of the Black restaurants to be elevated. So I created Memphis Black Restaurant Week. After that, I thought, with this pandemic, if I'm not working as an event planner, I understood that those same Black businesses that support me, that go to trade shows, festivals, they didn't have a home. So Juneteenth was the perfect opportunity to create something. At the time, I thought for Memphis, but really around the country, people took notice and participated and brought in $1 million to those Black businesses. Thank you.
Hey. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So, sounds easy, but why? Why forge a marketplace for our community? Why is it important for us to have a seat where we're serving ourselves the trillions of dollars that we touch each and every year? We are an economy. It's a
Right.
Black, powerful economy.
Right. Well, the why was because nobody else was going to do it. I saw the need for the Black entrepreneurs around me in my own community that they didn't have a space, they didn't have a platform. So, one thing I've grown to know as an event planner, as an entrepreneur, we solve problems and nobody's going to do it for us. So, I took it upon myself to invest my own dollars in creating a marketplace virtually so they could have that. For me, it wasn't about the money. For me personally, it was about creating something where people could still get exposure to these great businesses that really were struggling during the pandemic.
That was called a long pause. I do long pauses.
Okay. I was like, did I lose them? You know how technology is. You were deep in thought. I like that.
I was pausing because I think many entrepreneurs don't pause. They jump right into it. They need an organizer like you, an event planner,
Mhm.
to come up with a solution for their goods and services.
Right.
But how'd you do it? I mean, that's the question. At the end of the day,
Okay.
how unafraid and how fearless were you about utilizing technology to
Sure.
organize? Because what I've shared with many people is you have to become a business organizer today.
You
And
do.
that's part of the movement. How did you put on your business organizer hat? Uh,
Got it. Okay. So I had 4 weeks to put this together. I identified very quickly within the first week that I wanted to create a virtual platform. So I got with my web designer, which, I've been an event planner full time for 3 years. So I worked with her extensively and told her what the vision was. So one thing is important. You have to have the right people on your team. I have a social media manager. So we thought about what the strategy looked like to make this a digital platform with such a quick turnaround. So the first, week or so was really strategizing what it looks like. The next step was putting it out in the community. I have a database of vendors that I've been working with. I do a Soulful Food Truck Festival. I do Black Christmas Expo. So I figured getting 50 Black businesses on board would be fairly easy. When I placed this information on social media, it went viral. I had people in Houston, LA, New York contacting me saying, can I be part of this Juneteenth Shop Black virtual experience? So I was very overwhelmed by the amount of response that I got, but it showed me very quickly that this isn't just a Memphis thing. It was something that every Black business around the country was experiencing. They needed exposure for their business. They needed a platform so people could shop with them and patronize them. And pretty much once I got enough vendors on board, I figured 100, twice the amount that I originally planned for, was a great stopping point.
Double down.
Yeah.
Double
So
down.
right. So it was a matter of making sure they had working websites. I will say that 20 of those 100 businesses didn't have an e-commerce space. So it honestly helped them to step up their game and compete with other vendors because they had to kind of pivot into this virtual space. So after we did that, we launched after 4 weeks, and Juneteenth, again, was a huge success after that. But it was a lot of strategy on the front end to make it look very easy when it launched to the public.
Many individuals in our community are afraid. There are doubts. People on Facebook are saying many of them, their products aren't quality. Is that still the same today? Do you have that fear when you bring people to the marketplace?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a fear. It's a known. It's an actual fact. And so I would say about 200 businesses contacted me. It was up to me to go through their catalogs, look at their products, talk to them, do a Zoom call to figure out if this was the type of quality that needed to be out in the community. I think, to that person's point, everybody thinks their product is great, but the quality isn't always there. So a lot of people, I did tell them, not this year, but this is something I would do again. And I would love to have you to come back next year. The people that decided to invest and create a website for Juneteenth, they had a great product. They just didn't know how to pivot into the virtual space. So I kind of guided them. So I really was a consultant even with Juneteenth to make sure that everybody was up to par and ready for this wealth of the community supporting.
I think when we use the word pivot, you might want to describe 3 tenets of those entrepreneurs that understand why pivoting is important. 3 of them.
Okay. Number 1, you have to know how to adapt. As a business owner, none of us expected this pandemic to happen. So do you just sit at home with your product because you can't travel? Or do you decide, number 1, that, okay, I have to now compete and make improvements to my business? Pivoting also means you just have to have an open mind. Again, back in March, I don't think any of us were tech savvy when it comes to Zoom, when it comes to websites, any of that. But what are we doing now? We're talking on Zoom.
Zoom. I'm tired of you, Zoom. I'm tired.
Zoom.
Don't ask me to Zoom. Don't put on my clothes on Zoom.
Have you heard the term, I'm zoomed out? That's a whole thing now. I'm zoomed out. So knowing that you can adapt. And then 3rd, I guess being unafraid, knowing that if you want to make money and survive, you're going to have to be unafraid. Put the fear to the side, because as an entrepreneur, you're already launching and embracing the unknown. So, what are you afraid of? So I did have a lot of those conversations with people as well. And me, my story, I moved to Memphis because I was unemployed for a year in Atlanta with 2 degrees when the economic downturn happened in 2008. So because I packed up my car, moved to Memphis unafraid, that's just been my attitude. So I always push people to get into that space. What are you afraid of? Just try it.
Loss. So you qualify 100 people,
Mm-hmm.
20% need to understand what it is. I just want anybody to know, if you are just joining us here at the seat of the table, that I have this phenomenal entrepreneur, Cynthia Daniels, who came together and provided for our community a vessel during Juneteenth. And here at Seat at the Table, it's how do we all sit at the economies that we all control. It was $1 million for this Juneteenth. It'll be $50 million the next Juneteenth.
That's right.
It was a virtual experience. So just kind of bringing them up for a seat at the table. But you prepared, you have to be able to have courage to sit there,
Yes.
To get a seat. So what was the charge for everybody who wanted to sit down?
So the actual monetary charge of the charge, and
They ain't free to come anywhere to sit. They can't eat at no restaurant free. They can't come and show. If you got a table and you had a booth,
right,
it's a virtual retail opportunity.
right.
Get your e-commerce cookies up.
Right. So for me, again, it wasn't about the money, and I had to think about making sure my costs were covered. So I said, you know what? Let me do $100 vendor fee. It's virtual space. They're not physically having to set up anything. I don't have to rent tables. And then, to be honest, because I knew personally a lot of the business owners, they weren't making any money. So I knew that $100, that was still a significant amount for some people. Some people had to say, you know what, can I pay you right after Juneteenth? And that's what a few of them did, because again, like you said, nothing is free, but you also want to make sure you're believing in the people that are going to be supporting you. So it was a twofold relationship. But some people wrote the check right away. Some people said, give me a week, I'll get that to you. Because they haven't been working since March.
No, I think the idea is wonderful. I want people to understand what it takes to move an idea forward.
Right. And again, for me, I took the cost out of my own personal savings to say I needed to create a website. I needed to create a team to get them paid. So, it wasn't about me. Sometimes you just have to invest in your own self. A lot of people didn't believe in the vision. They were like, Juneteenth, we don't celebrate Juneteenth. Nobody's going to shop and support that. Doesn't matter what you think. I know what I believe in. I believe in myself. So it was important for me to make this thing a reality. And again, not knowing how big it would become.
Remember long pause?
I see it. I was ready for it that time.
Long pause. I think the reality is you're an entrepreneur who provided a solution.
Correct.
And if you did it every other week or once a month, the community has a need for someone to help organize business to walk through their digital mall. So if people are not creating and I think that whether you're on eBay, Etsy, your event, e-commerce is the entire way that we are going to shop during the pandemic, after the pandemic, while there's a pandemic. And if you don't get your weight up,
okay, I see you moving.
You're not going to be ready for this fight. See?
Yeah.
Because unlike you, those of us who are experienced entrepreneurs, we understand business is a fight.
Right.
And life is a fight. And if you're in the ring, you expect to be hit, just don't get knocked out.
That's right.
And so in a pandemic, some of the young guys ask, well, what do you think of this? I said, well, survive the fight. They said, what fight? I said, well, you get ready to be in a fight. The rules are going to change.
That's right. Every day.
Things are going to change. You used to going 7 rounds. This is probably 24 months.
Yeah.
And you're going to need to meet Cynthia Daniels so she can give you an opportunity to move some of that stuff that's in your garage.
That's right.
or even for that, just marketing. I think I've got a book coming out in February, and it's called and one of the RE uh, is resource. You became a resource for a community. It didn't have a resource at that moment.
Yeah.
So big ups to that. I really appreciate that. But I
Thank
want you to tell me why you are a Black business organizer.
My why? I honestly, I saw
Actually, the purpose. I'm going to give you an even stronger word, because when I gleam in your eyes, when you take the faith of what Atlanta puts in people is we should have more. And everywhere you go, you expect, no, if I'm from Atlanta, you from Atlanta, we're going to elevate each other if we the only two here, because that's what we do. Because that's better than us looking at each other another way. You can't get over the walls. I help you get over the wall. You might help me get over the wall. We're just going to do it. So it happens. And it's real.
Right. You know what? Two things that I grew up with that became a part of my entrepreneurial DNA. Number one, seeing Mayor Maynard Jackson and watching what he did. He demanded a seat at the table for Black businesses when he was in office. My mother was a social worker at juvenile court. She created a teenage club to create a safe haven for children. My brother's keeper. It was on Campbellton Road. And yeah, and I was working at the concession stand as a teenager. I didn't understand the significance of it at that time, but again, people that are creating solutions for people. So as an entrepreneur, we always complain. You go to these nice events, there's only a few of us in the room. For me, in my 30s, in the city of Memphis, I didn't see enough professional upscale events. The first thing I did, I created a gala that honored 40 under 40 urban elite professionals. There are these lists in Memphis where only 3 or 4 of us get honored every year. And I'm like, this city is about 67% African American. And it bothered me that you're telling me only 3 or 4 Black people every year are deserving of this award. So I created my own. I never done a gala before, but I said, I know it's in me to create this thing. And so to know that this city supported that, it was kind of that glimmer was in my eye. My day job, I have an HR background. I was in HR doing all of this. So I knew at that moment that this was my purpose and passion. This is why I'm here, to show folks, this is what we did in Atlanta. So let me show you how we can do it here. So that kind of started me on my trajectory, if that helps understand a little bit.
I hope so. I hope the audience is seated at the table or getting some information so that they can get a seat at the economic table. Today, on Seat at the Table, if you're not listening because you want to grow your food or cash flow revenue into your business as you sit at the economic table, then there's a problem.
Right. It's not about asking for permission. You take your own dollars and you build what you want to see. And then the rest will come. It will come together. The money will come, but don't doubt yourself and don't feel like you have to ask for permission. Just do it.
I don't quite believe that, y'all. That's not in my book. She is speaking from a very successful, tested place. But I always say, test, test, test. So I love it that she says go for it. And I think if nothing else, she's saying have courage to believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
Now, don't spend your rent money and your mortgage. She says she have a savings. This is a pandemic. Some people don't have it. So
let me say something. When I quit my job in HR, I had no savings. I had a nice, cushy 3-bedroom apartment. I downsized and I started living like I was a college student again. It was a very basic lifestyle. So I could take that extra money and make sure I could create what I wanted to create. So even if the money's not there, talk to your circle and your tribe. Say, you know what, this is the thing I want to create. Can you all pour into me? Let's start a seed. That's what the other people do, right? why can't we collectively put our money together to build something for this entrepreneur that wants to believe in starting something different?
Amen.
With that long pause.
No, it is. I mean, you know, I'm Munson Steve. I don't do chatty Cathy. You know,
Okay.
that's not me. Uh, I like to think about the idea and then give a moment. You know, let the paint dry sometime.
I like that. Okay.
You know, everybody don't give time to pause, and conversations are made of pauses. I
Yes.
think about that. You don't
For the marinate.
right.
Okay.
I like the courage, because you do have to have the ability to courage. I do encourage more individuals when they want to sit down to have resources, because even in your mind, you're an organizer by nature.
Right.
When you talk about tribes and putting 5 people together, you know, sometimes when people watch movies, they forget and they watch a movie like 11 or 12, and all of a sudden they sitting there, they put a whole team together.
That's and you know what? We're so afraid to share ideas sometimes with people. Well, so and so is gonna steal that from you. But you need your community, you need your tribe to help you. They have the seed money.
Well, I just might be able to do better with your idea than you. So you just need thanks for sharing, And sometimes just thanks for sharing. I told somebody, since you didn't ask me to be a part of the brain trust and you didn't put me on your board, and you got a little idea, I'm just gonna make it a big idea and take it right now. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna take it. See, you may not tell them. I tell them up front.
Yeah.
Ideas a dime a dozen. Who's gonna move on the idea?
That's right. That's right.
Who's gonna move on the idea? Don't be afraid. You told me about idea and you still telling me about it a year later, then you mad because I moved on the idea. What?
Now that's fact. That's true. Yeah.
Bring it to market. I did proof of concept. You want to buy it?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, no, I believe it. Tell me about some of the spectacular businesses, if you will, that did come to the June. There were just surprises and very innovative Black people and Black business people that came to have a seat at your Juneteenth event. Tell me about it.
So I'll start with maybe some of the food-based businesses. Okay. So we have this brother here named Philip Ashley, and Philip Ashley does these luxury chocolates. So he typically does big functions for corporations, the luncheons and the galas and things of that nature. So bringing him to the table, Black folk didn't know that this existed. They're luxury chocolates? Yes.
And they just used to giving Godiva their money. They know them, darling. They know them. They know them. Now, we don't lack knowledge. The knowledge to spend with each other is
That's right.
Now, spend
That's
with
right.
each other. You looking for luxury chocolates now?
Right. We had another cool one called Pop's Kernel. So Pop's Kernel is a organization and product-based company that we did a website for them. They sell their popcorn typically at trade shows and festivals, things like I don't know, like pineapple, green apple, fun flavors, Windy City, stuff like that. So she sold 1,600 bags of popcorn. At one typical event, she sells about 100 bags. And now, not only did she have a customer base in Memphis, but now she's shipping. She was so excited. She said, I ship popcorn to New York, Hawaii, Oregon. The exposure was incredible. There's a company out of California called Youngblood. They sell designer watches. I didn't know we had nice watches. I'll be very honest. I was one of those people. So again, companies that had such unique things, stationery with Black faces on them. That particular company is out of, it's in Georgia. Give me that's with a W.
And what do they sell?
They sell Black stationery. I cannot think of it. Shame. It's near LaGrange. I remember that much, but shame on me. I cannot think of that city.
LaGrange in Atlanta. I live in SWAT. So
Wait a minute. What are you? I was SWAT off Cascade. Okay. I'm over here. Okay. All right. You real with it.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
A few other companies sold a lot of really cool apparel, some Juneteenth shirts. You know, Juneteenth is the new black, that kind of thing. So that was really really exciting for me. I would say another company that did well was Bubble Bistro. So Bubble Bistro, their tagline is they sell homemade skin food. So they do all natural products for men and women. Last year, that young lady told me she pushed about on Juneteenth last year about $400 in just a typical day. She said she did about 20 times that this year in one day. And again, a customer base that's not only in Memphis, but now she's shipping all over the country. So, wait, I had one business out of Vancouver, Canada, that contacted me. They sold natural products for women. And then we had Ibea Beauty in St. Croix, and they sell natural products for men. So again, just an array of people all over the country.
So now you got a database.
I do. And they're ready to pay for next year already. I'm like, wait a minute.
What you waiting about?
You know, that's a great question. I'm trying to get through day to day sometimes. I'm trying to understand what did the pandemic want to do?
I don't know. On Juneteenth, take the money. It's time to set it up so the community can plan. You know, the amazing thing that happens when you are there as an entrepreneur is you begin to recognize that the same day you do something and provide a solution is the next day. So we need to be planning for a holiday.
Okay.
Don't
Okay.
play. It's a real seat here.
Okay.
Because what I see in your solution was e-commerce training and individuals getting prepared to understand that we have to shop with each other and that the power of having a seat at our own table is having access to almost $1 trillion. So congratulations, thanks. Today was 1 million. When it's 100 million, you know, we'll probably surprise ourselves again. But it's a possibility today.
Right.
Because of you. So thank you so much for that beautiful gift.
Thank you.
Now, the deficit in businesses not having website, why is that? And how did you provide them with a solution?
You know, a lot of business owners are afraid of having that e-commerce website space. They're comfortable with being in front of the customer, you know, selling their product one person at a time. And sometimes I think managing the websites, managing the shipping, managing products in the e-commerce space, it's just uncharted territory. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people shy away from it and they lose out on a lot of business. So what I do is connect them to the resource. I create the solution. I say, these are again, in Memphis, these are the 3 website designers I have relationships with. They can work with you based on your budget. But for those website people
let me ask you one question before you get there. Because most people don't know. So we're going to use ranges. So we're not specific to.
Sure.
What is a low budget, medium budget, high end? Because my community needs to know what's fair.
I agree. So we'll start with low. So low budget, anybody, and I'll send a few people here, anybody can create a Wix website. That's Wix Wix. It's free. If you got the time to upload your product, upload images, it's extremely tedious. I can't do it. I don't have the patience for it, but some people have the time. You can just put a website together as simple as you create a Facebook page. Very easy. For me personally, when you're selling products, you want to spend at least about a good $500. That's the next level. $500. That's kind of where my event websites are. I just need a nice home where you can look at pretty pictures, learn more about me, learn how to contact me. Now, if we're talking very nice and quality, and you're constantly needing to change and update the website, I would say a good 1,500 would be that next level. But again, it's something for everybody. If you can't do the 500 today, start with a Wix page. You can always upgrade your website. That's the beautiful thing about it. I think people feel like they need all the bells and whistles day one. No, sometimes you just need to have a button where I can click on it and order something. Just start simple.
Start Shopify.
Shopify, Etsy, both of those. Yes, absolutely. Oh, you cooking now.
I don't know why you didn't call me. I was a little disappointed in that.
Well, I know you now. I'll call you for next year.
My company, Playful Genius,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for my children's books and toys. So.
Well, I'll be doing a Black Christmas Expo.
Oh, when did you decide that?
Well, because Juneteenth went so well, typically that's the event that I
have a holiday event with me.
Let me.
Glad we partners. That's real good. Okay, good. I like that. I've been looking for an e-commerce holiday partner. Okay.
Right. Hey, so I've done it 2 years in a row at a football stadium, right? And it went so well. But with the pandemic, I said, well, obviously we can't do it at the football stadium, you know, because of COVID-19. I'll wait until 2021 to do it. I typically do it second weekend of December. We have Black Santa, all that, all the bells and whistles. Well, because Juneteenth went so well and people love shopping, I thought, well, maybe Black Christmas Expo, I can make that virtual. And this would be my third time doing it.
Well, I'm glad you invited me. How many people did you have last year?
We used to have about 2,000 people that come out over the weekend to shop. I'm sorry?
How many vendors?
We had 75 vendors last year. In the first year, we had 50.
Right. Good. I'm glad to be a partner in that. I'm looking forward.
Okay. I look forward to working together.
We need to make that a national event.
Okay.
With some dope technology.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've got to have a solution for that. I'm really proud of all your efforts to make it. Tell me about, you have vision in seeing food trucks.
Yeah, you know, interestingly enough, my first big event in Memphis was Memphis Black Restaurant Week. That was March 2016. When I was looking for restaurants, a lot of food truck owners kept asking, well, can I participate? And I would tell them, no, technically you're not a restaurant. So, and food trucks were still, it was, you know, we're in the South. We're still a little behind the trendiness of it. And so Black Restaurant Week went from a Monday to Sunday. What I forgot is that by the time that Sunday happened, all the restaurants were closed. So that Sunday, the first year, I didn't have anywhere to send people because, you know, we like to take off Sunday and Monday when we restaurants. So in the spirit of creating a solution, I said, you know what? I have to do something else on a Sunday to maybe do something for the community. And the light bulb went off. Why not do something with Black-owned food trucks? Unfortunately, you know, there's so many food truck festivals around the country. The Black food trucks are waiting outside the club. They're at the gas station. There's nothing that celebrates them. And so I just did my last event before the world changed was March 16th. And I had food trucks from all over the country. We had 6,000 people. And that was a beautiful thing to see. Barbecue, you know, funnel cakes. I'm sorry?
How many trucks?
We had 30 food trucks. And it's called Soulful Food Truck. Say it one more time, I'm sorry.
You had 30 trucks, 2,000.
Yeah, so a truck typically feeds about a good 400 to 500 people, depending on what they're selling. So I made sure I had a variety. I call it Soulful Food Truck Festival because I always have the best musicians, soul music. We had
behind you.
Say it again.
Did you have the two behind you?
The two. Oh, I did not. I
mean,
can't.
people may not know who that is behind you.
I cannot afford 8 Ball and MJG yet. No, I cannot. But I did have Tila. I also do a New Year's Eve event, so I brought Tila out to surprise.
Club showing love.
Oh, you here? I like that. But no, food trucks. That's something
I do.
Yeah, they look forward to it every year. So hopefully, if the world is open, March of next year, I'll bring back the Soulful Food Truck Festival. So they'll have a home, and it's a really good time.
Can you do a food truck during the pandemic?
You know, with social distancing and all the rules, I think it would be a little challenging. Mm-hmm. I think, but if you got a big enough park, it possibly something like a Piedmont Park, something that big, have them stationed, instead of like lined up all together. I guess you could social distance it. That could work. And it's outdoors. Outdoors is safer when you're talking about the virus. So yeah. It's possible.
And masked up.
Right.
And masked up.
Right. Now I will tell you one thing I'm doing that has a year ago, I would have never thought I'd be doing this. I'm doing a drive-in movie showing the Wiz. So, talking to them, getting the rights of it. And so we're doing that at Shelby Farms Park in Memphis, Tennessee. So I think that could be something cool in Piedmont Park. So I'm going to throw that at you, like a drive-in. You're like, no. But a drive-in movie night, that's something that's safe to do in the era of social media.
I'm anti I am totally, I don't care if it's outside. I think.
But you're in your car. That doesn't matter. You drive up in your car, you turn on the radio station, and you hear the movie.
I love the idea, and I love your innovation. I like that you are thinking of innovative solutions. So tomorrow night at 6, I do a health IQ every week.
Okay.
I have Black epidemiologists. I have Black female physicians. I have psychologists, sociologists, presidents of colleges. And they come on the show. It's kind of like seat at the table. That day I do 5 shows.
Okay.
I'm on for 5 hours. And what I work to encourage is assess your risk. So if you're going to be in the car, the only thing I've seen, obviously I live in the A. So, we are a party town.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever way you want to party, you can party here. Facts.
Yes.
Your dream, what's your dream? Okay, we make dreams come true. That's in the creation of the music you sing.
Right.
That's in, the people you love, the sayings that you repeat, the motivation that we give you, hey God to your mind, the whole idea of what it is, self-therapy when you think about Goody Mob,
Classic, yeah.
All the people, yeah, welcome to Atlanta for all your homeboys, who participate. But I think for me, I know people don't stay in their cars. I've watched most people that go to drive-ins, and the next thing I got is Shirley and Bebe on the windshield trying to communicate. Like, we send out smoke signals.
We won't have any of that. I know that for a fact. Because, I don't even really go out much right now. How about yourself? Do you venture out at all?
Oh, all the time. I am a good book reader. I am definitely, I imagine. I have a new coloring book coming out. I have a new, I have a line of children's books.
Very nice. Okay.
I've got a line of coloring books coming out. I've got at least an hour of meditation a day. But I am staying in place as often as I possibly can to reset. I've probably lost maybe 15, maybe 20 pounds. So
good for you.
In terms of this moment, I'm living vicariously through all of you young geniuses who are creating for those who can't pause. I do have the ability to enjoy as an entrepreneur, pausing and creating.
Absolutely.
And then being, I spend my hours meeting and having mind melts with Cynthia Daniels, where,
Like that mind melt. You got some cool phrases.
I just
Okay.
do my spot thing and have a mind melt with the, box here. And so I connect with those who are creating trends in my society, creating solutions to problems for those Black business owners that need a place. So,
Mm-hmm.
but we've got 13 more minutes before seat at the table with you is over, and I don't want to miss my moments with you. And I've appreciated your mind melt. But you really look for innovation.
Mm-hmm.
Why is innovation so important for individuals in this moment?
See, now I'm pausing. Innovation is important. Are you giving it back to me? Innovation is important because we are at a standstill. We are in our four walls each and every day. We're a society of people that we socialize, whether you're at a night spot or you're congregating on Sundays at your churches, at some visiting family, there's something that you do amongst other people. And because we're in a place where you're pretty much by yourselves or just with your intimate loved ones, you have to become innovative and creative with trying to create some kind of normalcy in your life. So that's why innovation is important. So we don't lose that human connection. Every Zoom call I do, every interview I'm interviewing with you now, I feel like you just visited me today, right? So we had to become innovative in being able to interact with one another.
Oh,
So
I visited you today.
you did.
You won't forget me. You will know that I visit. You will know you were on rolling out seat at the table. You
You're
will
right.
remember this face. You will definitely remember this interview. I will remember you. I will claim it.
That's right.
Play the tape back. I will have memories of your success. I will take key innuendos in your suggestive mind that you were melting as I was sitting there. See, I did. Spot.
Right. So, it's important because you want to create normalcy for people. That's why I do what I do.
Well, I think you're a business organizer. I really do believe you're a business organizer. I can't wait to read your book coming up in the future. I know you're writing one. I look forward to you continuing to organize. I think innovation is a necessity of business. When we think of the fact that you have to compete with artificial intelligence and utilize artificial intelligence.
Right.
You have to utilize apps. If you haven't been utilizing apps, you have to utilize e-commerce.
Right.
They literally are talking about we have pushed forward with the pandemic on having a paperless society.
Isn't that something?
Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Yeah.
So now, based on us not wanting to touch paper money,
right,
not wanting to touch paper money, everybody is gone to digital. 10 years ago, who was saying PayPal? 10 years ago, who was talking Venmo? Right. 10 years ago, who was talking Cash App me that money?
Right.
But today, that's all totally new platforms, and everybody who's getting money is vernacular. Mm-hmm. And you have to evolve your digital e-commerce proposal to the world.
Absolutely.
And I commend you for encouraging and facilitating, because you're a facilitator. See, that's why I call you a business organizer.
Okay.
That's what Martin Luther King was, a business organizer. He wanted to organize us about our freedom.
Right.
You're organizing us for our economic freedom.
That's what it's about.
That's what I want. That's why I wanted to meet you.
Well, thank you.
Creating a seat at the table for our economic freedom.
That's right. See,
for some people, they were at a Juneteenth event. I said, I need to meet her because she's helping with this uprising by giving us an opportunity to have
and that was important to me. I'm one that's always celebrated Juneteenth, but to your point, there are festivals, there are ceremonies, but I wanted to create a way for businesses to make money, to be able to pay off the debt that they've been missing out on. And I knew creating something that's never been done before, it was necessary.
Well, economic freedom and reparations are all about the conversations of being able to have a marketplace. I
Right.
admire you for creating a marketplace. That's
Thank
what a
you.
business organizer does.
Mhm.
The New York Stock Exchange was a business marketplace. You created a Juneteenth marketplace.
I like that. Okay.
That's why I gave it to you. So
Thank
so
you. I just took it. Thank you.
that Atlantic Exchange. I ain't no scared of you. So I didn't let my sister get bigger, I get bigger. I'm not
That's right.
nothing. It's like we gotta shine. We have worlds and moons. See, everybody believe in that worlds and moons. They're worlds and moons. And
Mhm.
they print money every day. They open the stock exchange,
Right.
over 300, 200 days a year. So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
it's very important that, so you were all Martin Luther King, Coretta Scott King, Angela
Mhm.
Davis, Harriet Tubman. People didn't know
Mhm.
where they were going, but they know they wanted their economic freedom.
That's right. And I mean, I think about the Poor People's Campaign. That's where Martin was headed. No, I get it.
Yeah, I got a phenomenal museum there.
Yes, the National Civil Rights Museum. It is. It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. It's a
Mhm.
defining moment in time.
Absolutely is. It is.
Like you've defined Juneteenth. Will never be the same.
Well, thank you, my brother. I appreciate that.
You know what? It's true. Everybody can't say, well, we made $1 million that day.
Still mind blowing. It really is.
Wait till
And
it's gonna really blow some more minds.
yeah, and
Right.
CNN got wind of it. Huffington Post, Yahoo even shared the information. It was just the right time, the right place, the right platform. And
No, you
like,
forgot one thing.
what?
The right person.
The right person. You're right.
Gotta claim
I
it.
I do that sometimes. Because I'm operating in my gift, I don't think about it. It's what I do naturally, right? So, but you're right, the right person. Thank you.
You can't have vision and give it away. You let people participate in it, but
Right, right.
at the moment, then the right person. Because
You're
everybody,
right.
they just took their money, and if you have a website, too bad.
You're
Help.
right. I wanted to help, yeah, with it, upgrade them, elevate them. Absolutely. I didn't want them to miss out on the money that I knew they could make because they had a great product.
See, but that's not what I heard. I heard that you wanted to make sure that they were able to adapt and evolve as business people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
See, our evolution as a community means that we are going to have to adapt
Yes.
these e-commerce platforms to understanding Google ads,
Yeah.
be able to be prepared for understanding that if you run a restaurant, you might want to run 3 different menus, have 3 different restaurants, and only delivery for those restaurants because
Hmm.
people ain't coming to your restaurant. So you might as well have a whole program.
Right. You're right.
A whole program. And that's what you gave
Hmm.
our community financial freedom for one day that they could not give themselves
That's
if it
right.
wasn't for your vision.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you.
And that's a gift to our community,
Hmm.
especially for $100.
Right. And
I need
a lot. Go ahead.
I have to trade mine. But anyhow, I'm looking forward to December. I'm looking forward to all these moments that you're creating. Talk to me about being a female entrepreneur and doing this. Because sisters is getting down.
You know, that's a great point. For me, it's all about being fearless. As a Black woman, you know, we have so many barriers against us each and every day. You know, we doubt ourselves. We our family doubts us. You know, the world doesn't put us on this pedestal as being business women. You know, they naturally don't see that. So you just have to take your faith and go hard each and every day. Because I mean, think of all the entrepreneurs that are out there now, even going back to Madam CJ Walker. You're trying to sell something that has never been done before. You're the only one that really gets the vision, and you face a lot of rejection, but you have to be strong enough in your faith to know that God gave you this vision for a reason, and you have to push through it. So, you know, as an entrepreneur, everything that I've ever created under my business name, it's because I have this vision. And as much rejection as I may get, I make it work, and then it's successful, and people are like, wow, I didn't get it, but now I understand what you're doing. You know, even doing this Juneteenth event, I have now 4 of the clients. I have a client now in Connecticut that said, hey, I saw your event. We're trying to create a virtual fundraiser in December. Can we hire you? Absolutely, you can. So imagine had I thought Juneteenth is not going to work. That's a client and future clients that I would have missed out on because I believed enough in myself.
Right. But you're a sister with superpower. So what is your thought of today? What is the thought of today? A 1-minute thought of the day for a sister with superpower.
Use your superpower to uplift the next person. If you have a seat at the table, make sure you're bringing somebody to the table with you. That would be my thought.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Monson Steed. I have been spending the last hour at the seat of the table with a visionary, a phenomenal young lady who has dedicated her entrepreneurial empowerment for our economic and financial freedom. It is important that we stay together as a community. It's important that we recognize and support one another. So, Cynthia Daniels, thanks for coming to seat at the table and creating an entire buffet for people to collect dollars, have a party, then go to the other side and create luxury chocolates and find them, and go to the other side and be able to sell popcorn to Hawaii from Memphis. So as you are teleporting and being everybody up,
it's 8 o'clock.
I want you to know that we believe in you here at Rolling Out and congratulate you for creating a table more than a seat for all of our community to sit down at and have economic and financial freedom. Thank you so much. Talk to you real soon. Again,
yes.
We believe in you, and all of you believe in yourselves and demand a seat at the table. I'm Monson Steve. Good night.